Spider-Man Far From Home is directed by John Watts and of course stars Tom Holland yet again as Spider-Man. This time we're joined just after the events of Endgame. Yes, Tom Holland is back. If you haven't seen it, please go and see those. If you're watching this without watching Endgame and Infinity War, that's kind of weird, but anyway, he's back and now there is new threats threatening to take over the entire world. After the giant movie that was Avengers Endgame, you'd think, what can they do next? How do they top this? And when I found out that it wasn't the end of phase 3, I was a bit confused, and then they said Spider-Man will be ending phase 3 for us to be moving on, etc. That was quite a big deal for me, I think, but the main question I had after leaving was, did it work? Well, yeah, kinda, sorta, but it wasn't the, you know, the most polished or the best MCU movie out there. Let me explain that one. When Marvel took over from Sony and stopped letting them make pointless remakes and reboots of Spider-Man, and they actually honed it down, got a brilliant actor and got everything sorted, I had a lot of faith in the character, and Spider-Man Homecoming, it was the cream of the crop in terms of all like 7 of them now. It really for me is still the best one of the Spider-Man movies, in my opinion. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. This movie, yes, is good, but I couldn't help thinking, and this has got like it's like 93% on Rotten Tomatoes or something, 8.1 on IMDb, something weird like that. I think they're the right numbers anyway. And that for me, I think is kind of confusing, because in no way is this the perfect movie. In my opinion, there are some things that don't make it the worst MCU movie, just don't make it as good as Homecoming, and that for me makes it not the best way to end phase 3. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we got Mysterio now, Jake Gyllenhaal. I love him. It's yet another good person coming into a Spider-Man movie. We had Michael Keaton as Vulture. We now have Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I'm so glad. Whether or not he's in other MCU movies later on, I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm really happy that we have Mysterio and Jake Gyllenhaal in the MCU. I love all the principal characters. I love Ned. I love Zendaya as MJ. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. They're all fantastic, don't get me wrong. I think that the story and some of the writing had the weaker parts for me. The story of, you know, Peter trying to have a normal life after the death of Tony Stark, for me, is perfect. Him trying to just have field trips and fall in love with MJ and you know, hang around with Ned and play computer games and go to school and be a normal teenager is fantastic. It's really good. The fact that he doesn't want to really deal with Nick Fury right now and just want to carry on, and the way that they use Mysterio in this movie is certainly a little bit different to the trailers, but that's the only sort of spoiler I'm going to give you with that. That's all really good. I really enjoyed that. But the movie, personally, I think tries a little bit too hard. You'd never think this would be a bad point, but actually the jokes are relentless in this movie. They are pretty constant and even happen during some pretty pivotal moments in the story that shouldn't actually have that many jokes in them, to the point where I actually got a little bit annoyed, sort of, I don't know, 2/3 into the movie. I was sitting there just going, could you just get on with it and just stop trying to put little jokes, and every sort of sentence Peter would just list off some characters, just so you know, we are still in the MCU, lifting off Captain Marvel and Thor and all this shit. I understand, but they did seem very forced in at times. That really got on my nerves. Mysterio's whole reasoning for doing what he's doing is extremely weak in my opinion. The only reason Mysterio is actually very compelling is because Jake Gyllenhaal is a very compelling actor and he knows what he's doing with whatever source material he's been given. So, you know, personally I just think he's all been thrown in because they have to finish off phase 3. They've decided to do it with Spider-Man, which is cool. Since getting him in Civil War, he is now an integral part of the Marvel canon, which is fantastic. I love that. But this movie did seem too much teenage drama more than an MCU movie, to the point where it was just trying to be funny, maybe to just, you know, make kids happy, because there was a guy next to me, probably in his 40s, laughing way too hard at the most pointless. It's like those Richard Curtis jokes I made in Yesterday. It's like that. They're very run-of-the-mill, and it was really annoying. Guys, this isn't exactly Spider-Man Homecoming, but it is still quite a nice way to cap off Phase 3. Yes, I did have some pretty glaring issues with it, but all in all, it's still a Marvel movie, and they're still writing them to perfection. I would say there is 2 post-credit scenes in this movie. Do stay to the end. The one right at the end of the credits is one that is going to affect the entire MCU. I am really excited to see what they do, especially with things like Doctor Strange 2. I am really excited for all of that stuff, guys, but wait until the end. You will not be disappointed in that. I think that, personally, for me, is the main bit that's going to draw you, because if you want to know what happens next, this movie does give you that. So with all of this being said, guys, I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home a 3.5 out of 5. So there you have it, guys. There's my take on Spider-Man Far From Home. If you have seen the movie, then please let me know and troll me in the comments down below. Call me what you like, just let me know what you think about the movie. And until next time, guys, oh yeah, before I go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm still here, I'm going to keep going. Let's keep catching up with all these movies I've missed in 2 weeks. But until next time, guys, this is your friendly neighbourhood ginger guy saying, Ginge out.